In a small busy town in Kenya, where people walk quickly and businesses open early in the morning, a young entrepreneur decided to start something simple but powerful. He did not begin with a big office or expensive machines. He began with a small idea, a borrowed laptop, and a strong belief that small services can build big businesses over time. His journey into the printing business started with less than 100,000 Kenyan shillings, but his vision was much bigger than his starting point. At the beginning, he noticed something many people ignored. Students were always looking for places to print assignments. Job seekers needed to print curriculum vitae documents. Churches required posters and programs. Small businesses needed receipts, flyers, and banners. Everywhere he looked, there was demand, but many people offering printing services were slow, unfriendly, or unreliable. That gap became his opportunity. He started by renting a very small space near a college. The rent was affordable, about 5,000 Kenyan shillings per month. The room was not fancy. It had plain walls, a simple wooden table, and one chair. But it was enough to begin. He invested in an ink tank printer that cost around 30,000 Kenyan shillings. He bought a second-hand desktop computer for about 25,000 Kenyan shillings. With the remaining money, he purchased printing papers, extension cables, and basic office supplies. On the first day of opening, he was nervous. He sat quietly, waiting for customers. Hours passed, and only a few people came in. Some asked for directions, others just looked around. But by the second day, a student walked in and requested printing services. That first paying customer gave him a sense of hope. The job was small, only 10 pages, but it marked the beginning of something real. He decided to focus on customer service. Every person who entered his shop was greeted with a smile. He listened carefully to what they wanted and delivered exactly that. If someone needed help editing a document, he assisted them without charging extra. If a customer was in a hurry, he prioritized their work. Slowly, word began to spread. People started saying, "Go to that shop, they are fast and friendly." Within a few months, his daily income improved. On average, he began making between 2,000 and 5,000 Kenyan shillings per day. It was not always consistent, but it was growing. He realized that relying only on printing was limiting his potential. So he expanded his services. He added photocopying by purchasing a used photocopier machine for about 60,000 Kenyan shillings. This machine became one of his best investments. Photocopying was in constant demand, especially from students and office workers. He also introduced scanning services, charging a small fee per document. These small additions increased his daily earnings significantly. As his business grew, he started learning graphic design. At first, it was difficult. He spent long nights watching tutorials and practicing simple designs. But over time, he became confident. He began creating posters, business cards, and flyers for customers. These services had higher profit margins compared to basic printing. A simple design job could earn him 1,000 Kenyan shillings or more, depending on the complexity. With increased income, he reinvested in the business. After about 1 year, he bought a laminating machine for around 15,000 Kenyan shillings. This allowed him to offer lamination services for certificates and important documents. He also added a binding machine, which helped students and professionals present their work neatly. Each new service attracted more customers and increased his reputation in the area. However, the journey was not always smooth. There were challenges that tested his patience and determination. Power outages were common, especially during rainy seasons. When electricity went off, his work would stop completely. To solve this, he invested in a backup power solution. It was not cheap, but it saved him from losing customers during blackouts. There was also competition. Other printing shops opened nearby, some offering lower prices. At first, he felt threatened, but instead of lowering his prices too much, he focused on quality and reliability. He made sure his prints were clear and his machines were well maintained. Customers began to notice the difference. Many preferred his services even if they paid slightly more. Another challenge was machine maintenance. Printers and photocopiers require regular servicing. Sometimes they would break down unexpectedly, causing delays and losses. He learned to set aside money every month for repairs and maintenance. This habit helped him avoid major disruptions. As time went on, his business transformed. He moved from the small room to a larger shop in a better location. The new rent was about 15,000 Kenyan shillings per month, but the increased space allowed him to serve more customers comfortably. He hired one assistant to help with daily operations. This gave him time to focus on growing the business further. He did not stop there. He introduced branding services. He purchased a heat press machine for around 35,000 Kenyan shillings. This allowed him to print designs on t-shirts, mugs, and other items. These products were popular for events, businesses, and personal gifts. The profit margins were higher, and the demand kept increasing. He also embraced digital marketing. He created a WhatsApp business account where customers could send their documents before arriving. This saved time and improved efficiency. He posted his work on social media platforms, showing before and after designs. Slowly, he built an online presence that attracted even more clients. By the second year, his monthly profits had grown significantly. He was earning over 50,000 Kenyan shillings per month after expenses. This was more than he had ever imagined when he started. He used part of the profits to support his family and reinvested the rest into expanding the business. What made his journey special was not just the money, but the lessons he learned along the way. He learned that starting small is not a weakness. It is a strategy. He learned that consistency beats speed. He learned that treating customers well is more powerful than any advertisement. Most importantly, he learned that growth comes from reinvesting and improving step by step. Today, his printing business stands as a strong example of what is possible with determination and smart decisions. From a small room with one printer to a fully equipped shop offering multiple services, his journey inspires many young people in Kenya who want to start their own businesses. The printing business may seem simple on the surface, but it holds great potential for those who are willing to commit. Every printed page, every design poster, and every satisfied customer adds to the growth of the business. It is a journey that requires patience, effort, and continuous learning, but the rewards are worth it. For anyone thinking of starting a printing business in Kenya, the path is clear. Begin with what you have. Focus on quality and service. Expand your services gradually. Embrace challenges as learning opportunities. And most importantly, believe in the process. Success may not come overnight, but with time, consistency, and smart decisions, it will surely come.